Today we shall go on to the subject of Satacha Kriyaya Sambhaditi, working continuously in the practice, which is one of the 9 factors of sharpening the controlling faculties. And the text is shown, given as Avicchera Kriyaya, continuously, repeatedly, without any gap, so that preceding consciousness is, during consciousness is continuous with the succeeding during consciousness, and the preceding concentration is continuous with the succeeding concentration, and the preceding knowledge is continuous with the succeeding insight knowledge. In this way, all these wholesome mental states are continuous. This is how it has been given in the text. Now the yogis are sitting on the floor, which is constructed with paques, wooden blocks, which are placed without any gap, in a compact manner, so that they are compact and they don't leave any gap to allow darts and impurities to enter in the crevices, so that there's no dirt or impurities getting into the crevices, because there are no crevices, because they are continuous and compact. Such is the nature of Avicchera, continuously in a compact manner, so that these impurities will not enter. Because the noting consciousness is continuous, kilesas have no chance of entering your stream of consciousness, and this is what has been given in the text. Without any resting, without any gap, working continuously, being mindful all the time, so that impurities have no chance to enter stream of consciousness, so that your mind remains pure, still and concentrated, and cultivating this Khanika Samadhi, momentary concentration, in order to see things in their true nature, such as the mind and the body. This is the noting mind, this is the noted object, and their conditionality. And then the impermanence, the arising and passing away, the old giving place to the new. And because the old is giving place to the new, because they are impermanent, it cannot be satisfactory. In this way, you will cultivate insight knowledge by stages. As much as your preceding consciousness is continuous with the succeeding consciousness, you are bound to energize your Khanika Samadhi, momentary concentration. The mind will become concentrated. There will be stillness of the mind, one-pointedness of the mind, and there will be knowledge. Such is the nature of phenomena given in the text. In order to see the dissolution of the arisen formations, one has got to practice continuously, without any gap. That is what has been given in the text. Not even to rest for even a small moment. So if one is able to practice in this way with continuous mindfulness, then the concentration samadhi also will become continuous with the preceding concentration, continuous with the succeeding concentration. And so is the insight knowledge, they are continuous. Then one is bound to see the dissolution of arisen formations. And this expression has been given, nirantara, that is without any gap. If there is gap, then one will not be able to see the dissolution of arisen formations. And in doing so, viriya is the criteria, as we have already discussed, in order to see the dissolution of arisen formations. Viriya sisa, and the viriya as the leader, or the head, or the chief. It should be led by viriya, it should be produced by viriya. Viriya should be kept as a leader, considered as a leader of the practice. Now, there are these stages of viriya, in noting every arising object. First of all, the normal energy, normal effort that you apply in noting the arisen object. This is the initial application of energy. Then when in the course of the practice you might come across difficult situations like physical pain and so on, then you have to boost up your energy in order to face or overcome difficulties. Not to be lax, not to become exhausted, not to give up energy, not to give up one's effort, but boost up the energy in order to overcome the difficult situations. So when it comes to difficult situations, one should not shrink back. There should be no retardation, no flinching back, unflinching, unretarding manner. One should practice not exert your energy, and after you have exerted your energy, not to become exhausted, not become wearied, but not to become laid back and take things easily. If you do that, then you will not be cherishing your practice. You will not be appreciating your practice. So in that case, you have to boost up your energy instead of relaxing your energy. So this is the kind of nature you have to exert your energy. Now, the noting mind should be sustained on the arising object, present object. And in order to do that also, you need the application of energy. Energy should be the head. On the other hand, if you are flinching back, if you are relaxed and become exhausted, or not wishing to exert your energy, or sometimes you exert your energy, sometimes you apply it, sometimes you don't apply it, sometimes you are noting, sometimes you are not noting, sometimes you are resting. If you do that, then the object to be noted will be farther and farther away, removed from your noting mind. It will be at a distance, just like when an object is at a distance, you will not see it clearly. And even if you see it, it will be very dim and unclear, cloudy. So as it comes nearer, or if you go nearer to the object, you will see clearer and clearer, as much as you are close to the object to be seen. In this case also, so long as you are able to note the object closely, you are able to see the nature of the object precisely. So either the noting mind should go towards the object as near as possible, so that you are able to see your object precisely. So the driving force in this case, viriya, energy, is important in pushing or sustaining your mindfulness on the object of attention. The driving force is necessary. So in the text is given this, to see the dissolution in such knowledge, you need the exertion of energy. And this expression, yota payota. Yota means ordinary energy, normal energy or initial effort. And payota means more than ordinary energy. It is boosted energy, energy as a head or chief. So in this case, yota payota, as the expression goes, normal energy, initial application energy, and then boosted energy, energy which is stronger than your initial application. That's why in the next, also given in the text, these two stages, arambha dhatu, initial launching energy, and this normal energy, and nikkhamma dhatu, boosted energy, in order to overcome the difficult situations. So, in fighting a battle, leader is very important. If the leader is cowardly and flinch back, then you are going to lose the battle. So too in the practice, if you are retarding, if you are flinching back from the practice, instead of exerting your energy, instead of advancing, you become cowardly, and then you will not be courageous. You will not be heroic. So, in order to face these enemies, in order to face the difficulties, you need an application of energy, given as heroic energy, in a heroic manner. So in this way, your noting mind, in order to drive your noting mind towards the object of attention, in order to be sustained precisely, you need an application of energy, so that your mindfulness will be more sustained, will be stronger, and so will be your concentration. The concentration will become more and more deepened, and so that as much as you are able to note the object with the noting mind as close as possible, you are bound to see things precisely. Even the minute details will be observed in an extraordinary manner. Therefore, one should practice without any gap, without resting continuously, with building up momentum and driving with the application of driving force to be as close as possible to the object to be noted, as much as you can, so that you are able to see the dissolution of the arisen formations. Such is the factor, one of the factors of sharpening the controlling faculties, namely Satya, Kriyaya, Sampaditi, working continuously in the practice. In this way, apply Viriya as a leader, so as to be able to note continuously, beginning with the main object and every arising object as it arises, in a large manner, with alertness, wakefulness, diligence, with actively, not in a cool, relaxed, easy manner, casual manner. Otherwise, the objects will be gone before you are able to note, catch up with it. You won't be able to catch up with the object because they are gone by that time. So, if you apply your mindfulness with the mind energetically focused on object, sustaining your mindfulness, then there will be Khanika Samadhi, momentary concentration. If your Khanika Samadhi is strong enough, you will be able to cultivate insight. If you are not able to do so, you will not be able to know anything. Not only that you don't know anything, but you may also know wrong things. So these two things, simple unknowing and knowing wrongly, will take place. This kind of kilesa is bound to enter your stream of consciousness in the gap of the practice. At least this kilesa, you will be attacked by this kilesa. Every time this thing happens, akusala, every time unskillful deeds happen, akusala happens, the mind becomes deluded instead of being clear. In the case of practicing yogis, not being aware of one's gap, one's unmindfulness, such is known as moha, delusion. And this, if you are not feeling ashamed, or not being fearful of losing your mindfulness, ahirika, anotapa, then you're bound to lose your mindfulness. If you are not ashamed of losing your mindfulness, and not being disgusted, not feeling disgusted about losing your mindfulness, not feeling disgusted about allowing kilesas to enter, then you will be losing your mindfulness. You will not be able to note properly. And also, if you are not afraid, not fearful of losing your mindfulness, this is anotapa, the first one is ahirika, then you will be noting, sometimes noting, sometimes not noting, and there will be a gap in the practice. So if you are prone to, if you are overcome by this two unwholesome mental states, ahirika, anotapa, then the noting mind will not be sustained on the object of attention. Because your noting mind is not sustained on an object of object to be noted, there can arise this restlessness of the mind, uddhacca, known as uddhacca. And in this case, the mind has overshot, or the mind has gone elsewhere into fantasies, imaginations, intellectualizations, and so on. This uddhacca, ordinary restlessness, may lead to the mind flying away, gone away, cast away, known as vikalpa. So this happens because of the lack of shame and lack of fear in losing your mindfulness. So that if your mind is not on the object and it's elsewhere and it's restless, then there can arise these again kilesas, likes and dislikes, greed or craving and aversion, craving about desirable objects and aversion about undesirable objects. These kilesas also are bound to enter your stream of consciousness. Because of these gaps, kilesas, these impurities, enter them. And there cannot be any khanika samadhi, momentary concentration. You will be losing this momentary concentration. So in order that you don't lose this momentary concentration, you need the application of lona variya, exertion of energy, in order that you'll be able to drive your noting mind towards the object of attention. That is, you are in possession of hiri ottappa, moral shame and moral fear. Shame and fear of losing your mindfulness, which is very important. So you are feeling ashamed, feeling disgusted about kilesas entering your stream of consciousness. You are afraid, you are fearful about kilesas entering your stream of consciousness if you're not mindful. Especially in this sublime practice, high-level practice of mindfulness, one has got to possess, one has got to be free, one has got to feel shameful and fearful of losing one's mindfulness. If you don't possess these two wholesome mental states, hiri ottappa, then you'll be losing your mindfulness. You'll be missing the objects. If you don't possess in a small way, then you will lose your mindfulness in a small way. If you don't possess in a large way, then you will lose a lot of your mindfulness. So with hiri ottappa, moral shame and moral fear, yogis are bound to practice respectfully and carefully. Respectfully, carefully means the application of energy, the heroic energy. As much as you apply this exertion of energy, you are bound to sustain your mindfulness. And as much as you sustain your mindfulness, your concentration is bound to deepen, so that the mind becomes one-pointed. And then your insight will arise, because you are steadfast in the practice. So this feeling disgusted and feeling ashamed and feeling fearful, feeling afraid of losing mindfulness means you are in possession of hiri ottappa, wholesome mental states, such as the moral shame and moral fear. So for such yogis, practicing yogis, insight is bound to blossom immediately, within a day or night, within days, within night, within the day. And if you don't possess these two wholesome mental states, then it will be just like in a vehicle, in a motor car or something, in a vehicle, you need a backrest in order to rest back and relax, so that you will get to your destination comfortably without sustaining injuries. So this hiri ottappa is comparable to backrest, so that you can note easily without missing the object. Every arising object will be noted, so that the noting mind will be continuous without any gap and without suffering any injuries in the form of losing of mindfulness. when you say note continuously means not only just the main object and every arising object during sitting and walking, but also to be mindful of posture change in the posture, either the changing the posture, major posture, or minute posture change. This is also very important. For instance, when you are going to stand from sitting position, first of all, either standing because the time is up for standing and walking, or because of some other reason. If you stand up from sitting position, you should not do so suddenly. Instead, first of all, there is the intention to change the posture, that is from sitting to standing posture. First of all, note the intention. And then, wishing to change your posture, in changing your posture, first you move your hands one by one, moving the body as well, and the hands one by one, note one by one, not two things at the same time, but note every movement. Every obvious object should be noted continuously, respectfully, moving slowly like a patient, sick person. And suppose your hands are touching the floor first, then touching it, moving the hand, touching the floor, touching, and supporting, propping. And in this way you've got to note every arising, every obvious object, and you're feeling the weight of your body on your hand. Then you note as heaviness or pressure or things like that, and you are noting and knowing the sensations. And you may be stretching your legs slowly, one by one, slowly, like a patient. Then also, all these objects should be followed with your mindfulness. So, when you are sitting also from standing position, you do the same thing. So you do it continuously and changing this posture until your body comes up straight, erect, standing position. You follow through. Such is the practice of practicing continuously Saticha Kriyaya in terms of the posture change. And then as the objects arise, during your movement from one posture to another, so will your noting mind will follow these objects closely as they arise. Later, you stand up and then you may do things like changing your clothes and moving your hands. And when you're walking from standing position and noting standing, with the whole body standing, and from standing position you start walking, and not to walk with the hands moving like ordinary person. So when you're standing also note standing with the whole body standing erect. And when you're walking, you are mindful of the foot, because your foot in walking, your foot is most obvious. Your movement of the foot is most obvious. You know there's right step, left step, and so on, to the place where you're going to walk up and down. All these things, from the time you stand up to the time you go to do walking exercise, your mindfulness should follow through all the time. So when you come to the walking place, you're mindful of lifting and placing of the foot, then gradually to lifting, moving and placing. So all throughout, your mindfulness should follow. And when you're standing, to turn around, notice standing, and wishing to turn around, and then turning around, all throughout. Then from standing position, if you are sitting, in order to sit to sitting meditation, you should do likewise. Slowly sitting down with the body moving down, sinking, and so that you're able to follow through all the minute details as they arise. And when you're changing when you're turning your body sideways, turning this way or that way, you should be able to follow through with your mindfulness. And you should be mindful of every movement, even to the extent of closing and opening your eyes, so that you are able to follow through even minute changes of the postures as they arise. And such is the practice of meditation, respectfully and carefully, and your naughty mind will follow all through, so that as much as your naughty mind is continuous, so will your concentration be. Your concentration will be continuous, so that the succeeding concentration is continuous with the preceding is continuous with the succeeding, and so will be your insight knowledge. Preceding knowledge, wisdom is continuous with the succeeding knowledge. Such is the practice of continuity, namely Satya Kriyaya, so as not to allow kilesas to arise in the stream of consciousness by sustaining your mindfulness. In order to sharpen the controlling faculties, there are 9 factors, and in order to, first of all, seeing the dissolution of recent formations, and respectfully, carefully, and practicing respectfully and carefully, and perseveringly, continuously. If you are able to cultivate your mindfulness in this way, you are bound to develop these 3 paths, namely Sila path, the path of morality, Sila making up, then Samadhi making up, the path of concentration, and Panya making up, the path of wisdom or wisdom path. With the Sila making up, you are able to overcome the gross forms of impurities. With the concentration group, you are able to overcome the medium form of obsessive defilements. And with the Panya group, wisdom, you are able to overcome the latent tendencies, so that you become pure, blameless, unblemished, refined, graceful, and affable. Every second of the time, you become properly shaped. Such is the way of uplifting yourself, so that you become a better and better person. As much as you are doing yourself in this way, uplifting the level of yourself, you should also help others to be likewise, to be able to be uplifted and to become better and better. You should exhort them, you should advise them, suggest them in order to be so. First of all, you must serve as a role model. Then you exhort others to practice and become better and better. Then what will happen to the society, such a society? Such a society will become uplifted, they will become better and better, and much improved. And not only in this very life, but in a whole round of existences will become better and better, so that together we will be able to establish a happy and peaceful society. So the practice is to come to this stage, to uplift ourselves, at the same time help others to be uplifted. In this way, we are able to establish a peaceful world, and such is the real world peace. Some have the opinion that if they are living without doing anything bad, if they are staying in a good way, then there should be enough. The life is complete. It's not so. You are living with one's own family, and one should not be just think for oneself. So you're the leader of the family. He or she should also think about the situation, the condition of other members of the family, that they have to be good and happy and peaceful, so that the whole family, the whole society will be happy and peaceful. So the leader is important, namely the parents, and they have to cultivate their life so that they are also good, and at the same time uplift their family, cultivate their family, so that their family is getting better and better. The status is uplifted because they are living with the family. They are living with the family members, so they have to do it. They should not neglect other members of the family. They have to look after them all the time, because they are companions, full-time companions, and they have to be good also as much as you are good. So one should also serve as a role model. Then one should teach the children so that the children also become cultivated, cultured. In this way, one should first improve oneself, cultivate one's own life, and then cultivate the life of the children, so that there will be good society, peaceful and happy society. This is how this kind of society will be. So it is very important for a pleasant family, and in order to create a pleasant family, Satipatthana Bhavana is crucial.
That's
all for today.